Do you have videos that you on using your different tools?
I don't, but there are videos on the Carter and Son website.
The website's right behind you, by the way, it's on the screen. Yeah, that's the Carter.
Okay, yep, there. If you go, I think if you go into the homepage, you are, I forget, our story or under the contact, there is a place for some videos. They use a Wolverine system for sharpening. They all come sharp from the factory. So if you look at their videos, it will tell you how they sharpen them to get the angle they put on. Another tool that they have come out with this last year is a box scraper. 3/4 inch box scraper, a little over a thick, 1/4 of an inch thick, might be a quarter. And with this one, you can come in the bottom, it's at an angle, so you're not running into the sidewall with the tool. It also gives you the ability to make the inside a little bit curved as well. I made one box years ago, haven't done one since. And because of that, I have never used this one either, but they've come out with a 16 thread per inch thread chaser. So if you wanted to leaded boxes and you've threaded the inside, now where in the world did that other tool go so I can thread the outside? This way, if you're going to lose one, you lose them both. 16 thread per inch, and the ball on, what's that for? That just gives you a bit of a handle. You're not running a lot of torque on one of these, so you don't need to put a 16-inch handle on it. Somebody asked me if I can tell them how to use it. From experience, I can't, but I have watched a few demos. We've got a couple guys in our club in Calgary that do the threaded boxes, and when you do the depth of where your thread is going to be, you do a little bit of a cut just below that to break that line, and then when you bring the tool in, you start here and roll it in, and then it'll follow in. The reason you have that extra little cut in the bottom is you have a way to get out of it. Because if you're right up tight, apparently you'll drive right into the block. Like I said, I haven't done it yet, but that's the story I've heard. Yes?
There's a YouTube channel from Wyoming Woodturner,
Okay.
and he has his granddaughters doing that. With the,
I need to get to know his granddaughters. They can teach me. my granddaughters.
He does the first cut, but they do the follow-on.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, my granddaughters, I've got one that's 5 and one that's 3. They're not turning yet. There's a wide variety, different sizes. They do not do the carbide tips, and they're an incredible tool. They are my go-to tools. When you look in the catalog, Vicmark does their catalog. It just come out. I can hardly tell you where anything is in the book because I just picked them up from the printer about a week ago. I've added a couple things to the back. On the back page, I don't think metric. I can do some conversions, but there's a cheat sheet. Here's a few testimonials from some of my customers, Vicmark and Carter and Son. Just a brief introduction on the Carter and Son tools. In the Carter Son tool catalog, it'll be a brief introduction on the Vicmark. A brief introduction on the Clearview Cyclone. I did bring one here last year. I brought some to the show in Calgary, and Toronto. Every time we turn it on to clean up a little bit, I sold 3 more. And so I don't have any left. I also brought the housing for one of the big ones. This is the one that I use. I do have the original version of the small one as well. The dust that I pull out of my barrel underneath the Cyclone is finer than talcum powder, and it packs like talcum powder. Last fall I decided, I should clean the filter, see what's in it. So I disconnected the barrel, sealed the bottom of the Cyclone, made sure all the blast gates were empty, stuck the shot back into the cleanout box at the bottom, and I pounded that thing for 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I got less than half a cup of dust. and it was finer than what goes in the drum. If you look at any other dust collector, underneath their filter, they've got a bag to collect to find dust. How often do you have to clean that bag? I don't know, it's going to depend on which unit, but the comparison, I got a half a cup in 5 years. All of my dust goes in the barrel.
Is that behind the power of a shop vac, or is it another?
Not the big one. The mini one is, yes. It runs on a shop vac. The shop vac basically is the motor. We would run it on the weekend, and did we ever even clean it?
What?
Our shop vac.
No.
And you would, 10 or 15 short shavings?
No. That
No?
was only from us opening it and having the shavings fall off the lid.
Okay. Basically, it's clean. A few little shavings. I've run my fingers over the pleat on the filter once. Out of probably 10 or 15 times, I had a little bit of dust go poof. And that was it. And we used that all weekend. And so the shop vac for that one is your power source. On this one here, there's a 5 horsepower motor. You need basically minimum 8 feet. If you're below that, we can't make it work, but you need 8 feet. Mine is sitting in a 10-foot ceiling. And I just have a little bit I had to put a spacer between the plenum and the filters to make up that room. And I have my drum sitting on casters, so that's why it got that tall. I can sand, I use a 300, and if my lathe is here, and I'm sanding, and the dust comes off the sander, it turns around and goes back into the hose. And it runs on a 6-inch hose. The Max is the bigger unit diameter-wise, that runs on an 8-inch hose. I've also got a supplier in Calgary that makes spiral dust tubing. So I don't know what there is out here, but that is an option. They make it in lengths, increments of 5 feet. So 5-footers would be the cheapest to ship. 10 feet would be okay. If you need 20 or 30 or 40 feet, that would be a bit of a challenge. Would cost a little bit much. This is the tool rest, the 18-inch tool rest I was talking about. It fits either M30 or 1-inch post. This is a 1/2-inch drill chuck. Like I said earlier, my son is a machinist. I get it through his company. And this 1/2-inch tool rest runs on ball bearings. It doesn't run on bushings. And you can tighten that basically down to 0. So if you have a 1/16 drill bit, it will grip it. It's not going to fall out. Been a very good one. I've been last year basically in Toronto. Where do you get a shop coker? Turning coker. We can't find them. So we made our own. And I think I have 2 left in the truck somewhere. If you want one tonight, I'll mail one to you. It's made out of ripstop nylon, 2.9 ounces, so it is light. Okay, because nylon, you want it to breathe. You can see in the picture, there's a full back vent underneath the flap. There's also vents underneath the arms. There's 2 pockets in the back. I think about 7 by 7 pockets. I put rags in there, one for cleaning my visor and one for wiping the dust off the work. There's also a pencil slot here, 2 posts in it, 2 holes in it, or basically it's 1.5 inches wide and it's folded in half. But the bottom has a Velcro strip because anything that's going to hold something will fill with shavings when you're turning. You can lift that Velcro, stick the air hose in and blow the dust out. One of Vern's neighbors has one. He spent a day in the shop cutting green wood, and he dared to walk in the house with his shop coat on because it was still clean, and he was turning green wood.
Can it come in long sleeve as well, or just short?
If you ask for long sleeve, it'll come in long sleeve.
And how do you tie off the...
It has a Velcro strip on the sleeve. The reason I've done long sleeve short sleeve, is it's much harder to catch it in the spinning wood or in the chuck. We had a guy at our club talking about a thing that he made for his mother for his birthday. And so I came home from work, wanted to get it done. He's a bigger guy, bigger than me. I was wearing a big shirt, and as I was turning, I leaned forward, and by the time he stalled the lathe, he had broke 2 ribs. I know growing up as a kid on the farm, we would hear all too often somebody working on with the tractor, auger, or whatever, running a power takeoff shaft, and they found what was left of them later. Because if you get caught in that spinning shaft, now the equipment's all have rotating shields, so I haven't heard of it very much ever since. But I know that was an all too common story as I grew up. I have some stuff here. Some of it is packed in a crate, and we're not going to be able to dig it out. If you want something and pay for it tonight, you will get the show pricing. I know one of the fellows looking for a part that I sold out of. I do have to bring it in from Australia. But if you pay for it tonight, you get the show pricing, and I will mail it out to you. Some of them I have here. I've got Chuck's, Jaws, some of the Jaws. I know there's a couple we sold out of in Toronto. And like I said, if I don't have it, I'll ship it to you when I get home. If I don't have it at home, and I probably won't be able to tell you for another week, because as soon as we get home, we have to run to the coast to my mother-in-law's 80th birthday, and I think they should be there. So it's going to take me a week and a half to go through the crate once I get home. If it has to come from the supplier, it's going to take a little bit longer. And at this point, I'm going to say I'm done. If you have any questions, yes.
Can you order online?
If you can go through the website, there's a contact page in there. I think they've got it fixed again now. Send me an email. If it's not working, my email is listed on there. And I do have brochures here. My contact information is on there. Send me an email, give me a phone call, and like I said earlier, I will do up a quote for you and include the freight. All I need is your postal code to do that. I do have some information cards there. I know we did last fall when I was here. If you can put your name and address, email on there, phone number, I will add you to my mailing list. I will not bombard you. My goal is to send out an email a month. Last year I got 3. So if you're looking for some information, the fastest way is get a hold of me somehow.
Awesome.